that is Unity of Lawrence. It's one of those days where we're just going to keep trickling in throughout the morning, enjoying the sunshine and fellowship together. And so, whether you're in the room, on the Zoom, or in the parking lot on your way in, we are so glad you chose to be a part of Unity of Lawrence today. And so, in Unity, we begin everything in prayer. Let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we listen to this prayer. With full hearts and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as co-creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing, and of transformation, and so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you. So if there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, please see Clint after the service in our chaplain's office. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Just place one of those purple slips in the offering basket or out in the foyer, and those will be prayed for first by our chaplains and then sent on to Silent Unity for a month to be held in prayer at Silent Unity. We invite you to join in the prayer circle immediately after the service at the front of the sanctuary for all who want to participate in a group prayer for themselves and the world. You can still meet one-on-one with the chaplain in the office and head downstairs for the potluck afterwards. We feed spirit and selves. And now it is time to join us as we sing together, rising as we are able. I am the place where God shows up. Good morning. Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone. There's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. Let's sing that chorus one more time. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. And now let's say hello to our neighbors.
myself, will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone. There's nothing I have to do on my own. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up. One last time. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has his being. I am the place where God shows up.
And here we are, showing up as light. And so as we center ourselves in that knowing, let's affirm together Unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And our Unity of Lawrence vision statement, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And we always love when we can do that, when Star Sister Revival is here as our guest musicians. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Happy New Year as well.
From one triggered heart to another, from the morning coffee scroll or late night read, we'll roll into the groove of a hidden destination, till we stop to take a look, the path's unclear. Like each spoke on the wheel, we each take our turn, going round upon the ground in desperation. 'Cause it all comes down to our own expectations, and our lives align to our hopes or our fears. You got your feet on the pathway now, no need or lead or vow. It's gonna show you how to love. You're gonna find your way through each step of every day. You can live the life that you dream of. From one sacred heart to another, from an easy morning stroll to a late night's clear, we'll flow into the tune of a present conversation, and our lives reflect the thoughts we hold most dear. With each hope and ideal, we can make the turn, go around the town to tunes on our favorite station. 'Cause it all comes down to our own expectations, and our lives align to our hopes or our fears. You got your feet on the pathway now, no need or lead or vow. It's gonna show you how to love. You're gonna find your way through each step of every every day. You can live the life that you dream of. Just look up at those stars. Ooh, be taken with the moon. Ooh, know that you'll go far. When you sing your sacred tune, ooh, listen to your heart. To yourself be true. You got your feet on the pathway now. No need or deed or vow. It's gonna show you how to love. You're gonna find your way through each step of every day. You can live the life that you dreamed of.
Thank you. So perfect. Just as you are. And we're all on that path. I love that we can wear bells. Yay. Lots of angels getting wings today. And so, speaking of a divine one, we have our own Diane Silver, a poet, retired journalist, and Unity chaplain who seeks to understand monsters and dance with the beauty of the world through her weekly newsletter and podcast, Poetry and Life. Thank you, Diane, for being who you are. Welcome.
Wow, it is always such a great joy to be here talking to my home congregation here in the sanctuary and you watching at home. And I don't usually do this, but I felt the need, as just before I got up here, to start with yet another prayer. A prayer for this moment. Some of us had a tough week this week. Sometimes it was attached to what happened in the world. Sometimes it was attached to what happened in our private lives. Sometimes all of the above. So I asked us all to take a deep centering breath. And before we go into the prayer, to remember that prayer is not begging God. Prayer is not throwing ourselves at the mercy of an unmerciful God. Prayer is a ritual where we enable ourselves to transform the energy inside ourselves and outside ourselves in the world. It is a connection with the divine that enables us to go farther than we ever thought we could. So let us take a deep centering breath and release. And may we at this moment connect to the strongest energy of the divine. May we open ourselves to the energy of love. May we feel the muscle of love that is ever strong in the universe and in our hearts and in our country, even if it might seem it's not. We bring the golden light of healing into ourselves, into our city, into our country. We bring the light of justice. We bring the light of wholeness, and we know that we do not need to understand everything that is happening right now. We do not need to carry the burden of everything that is happening right now. We need to be present in the moment to the best of who we are, to ourselves, centered in love, centered in healing, centered in wholeness for this earth and for ourselves and for our families. So it is. Amen. So I picked the topic, sailing on uncharted seas, because kind of by accident, I ended up talking today on the first Sunday after we did the burning bowl ceremony and we did the white stone ceremony. And I thought, what comes next? Well, here's what went through my mind. The burning bowl ceremony, we are literally burning up what we want to let go in our lives. And this year, I have to say, I really enjoyed the flash paper we had, because there's some years where that flash paper is so flimsy that it just goes poof when it lights and it hits the candle flame, and it's just gone in an instant. This time, it burned slower, and I was able to see the words I wrote on it burn away. I was like, oh, I like that. Whatever that brand that was, buy that again. I like that because it made me feel like I really was burning it away. And then the next Sunday, we did the White Stone ceremony, where we went through a bunch of meditations and we wrote on a white stone, maybe then, maybe this week, and maybe we haven't quite done it yet. We wrote on the white stone the name we wanted to claim for ourselves this year. The name, the power, the idea, the purpose. We got our intention for the year, our direction for the year, the sea that we wanted to sail on. And then I thought, we burned away what we want to let go of. We've chosen a direction. Now what? How do we do this? How do I do this? This is an uncharted sea. I've never sailed this sea before. Or if you've done like I've done with the white stone in the past, never written the same word like many times or several times, you've never been at the place where you've started this journey in the same place. It's a year later. You're a different person. The world is different. The air is different. Everything's different. So you're starting this voyage over the sea from a different port. So how do we do this? What is this thing about beginnings we need to remember? Anyways, I remembered one of my favorite publications in the world is called The Marginalian. It is a weekly newsletter produced by a wonderful woman, a poet, a writer named Maria Popova. And if you have a chance, it's free. If you want to read it free, you can also give her some money. But it's been going on for years, long before there were Substacks or other things. She goes through the world and reads tons of stuff and curates the most interesting articles, interesting thoughts. She happened to send one out just as I was preparing this topic to do this talk about beginnings. It was like, whoa, thank you, Maria Popova. Here's what she wrote. Beginnings are notation for the symphony of the possible in us. They ask us to break the pattern of our lives and reconfigure it afresh, something that can only be done with great courage and great tenderness. For no territory of life exposes both our power and our vulnerability more brightly than its beginning. Whoa, thank you, Maria Popova. Here's what I love about this. Well, everything about what she said. But if we're sailing on uncharted seas, we have to do it with great courage. That's the first thing. We need to do it with great tenderness. And I want to add a third thing. I think we need to be willing to accept great joy into our lives. Here's what I mean. Great courage. By definition, if you are sailing on an uncharted sea, you're in a place you've never been before. Or, as we said before, if you intended to go there before, you're in a slightly different place. Maybe you're a little farther along or starting from a different port. When you're in a place you've never been before, I don't know about you, I get a little scared. It's something I've never done. How many people are like me? You cannot start a new app, a new program on a computer, anything, without making certain you have enough rest and without worrying about it for 3 days, or 4 or 5, before you actually try it. Okay, so Michelle was telling you about this publication I do, Poetry in Life. I do it on a platform called Substack, which is great technology, sometimes controversial in some ways. But anyways, before I started my publication, I knew what I wanted to write, but I had to learn to use a new app. How was I going to do that? That was scary. And I actually yelled at myself and worried about it for a week or so before I went, oh, just try it. And what I ended up having to do was spend an hour a day on it. No more, no less. So I spent an hour a day, and by like 3 days, I had it all figured out, at least enough so that I could begin doing my publication. Great courage is required. And for some of us, the things that we have chosen, the purposes, the goals, the ports we want to go to, the seas we want to sail, we've given ourselves a great challenge that takes even greater courage. The second thing Maria Popova said was that it takes great tenderness. How many of you have ever hung around a toddler who's just learning to walk? Yeah. Okay, so they're called toddlers because, you know, and they don't stand up. And when they're learning to walk, when we're learning to walk as young human beings, we pull ourselves up on something, a table, whatever, and we take a step or two and fall down. You don't yell at the kid for falling down. They're learning to walk. It's a hard thing. They've never balanced on two legs before. We need to show the same tenderness we show to a little kid who's learning to walk. We need to show that great tenderness, the same kind, to ourselves with whatever we've taken on this year. All right, we tried this. Well, that didn't work. Or, okay, I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to really work on getting a handle on my anger and getting angry at people. Well, I just got mad at someone. That's like the toddler falling down after they've taken a step or two. Do you literally beat the toddler up? No. Well, I'll tell you, the way that I've done my sailing on uncharted seas in the past is whenever I make a mistake, for example, if I want to not get angry at people, and I get angry at someone, I beat on myself with my words in as many ways as I can, and sometimes for a very long time. So great courage and great tenderness. And again, I'm adding one thing to what Maria Popova has to say. Let us be willing to approach this with great joy. Because traveling, you went to Italy recently, Michelle. Traveling, going to Peru, all these places, and even if we've been there before, I know, Marcia, you travel all over the world being a geologist. There is nervousness. You need to have great courage. You need to have great tenderness with yourself as you make mistakes and move forward. But isn't it wonderful to see something new, to eat new food, to hear new music? And the experience of being in the middle of Manhattan, New York is not the same as the experience of being in the middle of Manhattan, Kansas. And isn't it joyful? But so many times, what we do is go, okay, I'm waiting for the second shoe to drop. Okay, it's okay so far. Something bad's going to happen. And you miss all the good stuff that's coming right at you. And I say this as a person who does this all the time. So, great courage, great tenderness. Be willing to accept great joy. Here is what philosopher and poet John O'Donohue says about beginnings. Perhaps the art of harvesting the secret riches of our lives is best achieved when we place profound trust in the act of beginning. Risk might be our greatest ally. There can be no growth if we do not remain open and vulnerable to what is new and different. I have never seen anyone take a risk for growth that was not rewarded 1,000 times over. Once again, how do we do this? What tools do we have at hand? I would like to propose that we have a tool at hand to help us with this that we say every Sunday. It's a prayer, and I've talked about this prayer once before, but apparently it is one of my favorites. It just really is. It's the prayer we say before we do the collection. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and so it is. Amen. That prayer is a tool that gives us everything we need. Divine love through me. Divine love through me. Oh my goodness, I am not alone. And it's not divine punishment. It's not divine nagging. It's divine love. And divine love is working through me as I sail these uncharted waters. Okay, so I got a little lost, steered my ship the wrong direction. Maybe there's something interesting over here. Maybe there's some kind of divine intervention, something, divine love working through me, that there's something I need to know that's over here, or someone I need to help that I would not have bumped into if I hadn't actually made a wrong turn. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies. Whoa, blows my mind. Blesses, in other words, what we're doing, what we're working on is something that is holy, sacred. This is important. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies. I am important. Blesses. And here's the key one that makes me love this prayer so much. Blesses and multiplies. Multiplies. So it's not just one little thing that I have, one little resource. So divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have. Which to me means I am not going through this experience of sailing an uncharted sea as a complete newbie. I bring multitudes of experience. Whether I'm 10 years old or 80 years old, I have multitudes of experiences. I have skills that I bring to this. I have people around me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give. Okay, this is the part where action. I'm taking some sort of action. Now, the action may be sit in my room and meditate. The action may be come to church. The action may be don't yell at myself when I get angry at myself. The action may be eat an apple a day. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's all that I give. Whatever I do, divine love is blessing and multiplying. Whatever effort I make, maybe I decide I'm going to let it be. Maybe this year's word on the white stone was letting go. 2 words. Letting go. And then you let go. And realize you don't have to control the whole world. It is not your fault. Bad things are happening in the world. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give. Here's the kicker, all that I receive. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I receive. This is a prayer that says you are going to receive multitudes, mountains, bigger than a bread box, bigger than the universe. Love, transformation, help, whatever. And this is not in the prayer, but I want to add it as a reminder. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive. And I don't have to know exactly when or how. And I am grateful. Okay, so not so poetic, that last line. But it's the idea. And so it is. Amen. We have tools for sailing this uncharted sea. And we have each other. Big times each other. Even when people are moving away, we have technology and connect us. I want to end today's talk by telling you about my favorite Christmas gift this year. My favorite Christmas gift was, don't laugh, people, it was a coffee grinder. Now, I am a little bit of a coffee snob, but not like some people, big coffee snobs. And 5 years ago, when we were just beginning COVID lockdown, when life was so terrifying, and going to a store seemed like a death-defying feat, I had this thought. I must have my coffee, first thought. And second thought was, I was just getting into getting great coffee and having them ground. But I'm not going to stand, the beans ground, at the shop where they sell it to you. But I'm not going to stand in a shop and say, wait while they grind it, even if they would even do it. Because at that time, people were putting up, the shields between people. You basically, you went to the store, you scuttled in, grabbed stuff, and you scuttled out. So I one day scuttled into a store, and there in front of me was a coffee grinder. Ah, great. It was a great coffee grinder, and it wasn't even all that expensive. Great. I grabbed it, along with a few other things, and scuttled out of the store and went home. And then I realized how much I loved, grinding my own coffee beans. But this grinder, oh my God. You get what you pay for. The blades got gummed up by if you ground it too fine, it would be gummed up. You couldn't get them out. They wouldn't work. It didn't grind very much. Every time I use it, this is so irritating. This was 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Now, at the time that I bought the coffee grinder, I had not become a maven of online shopping. Because then as months of being locked down, went on, I began to learn all about online shopping. Did I ever once shop online for a new coffee grinder? No. Why not? I don't know. When I finally, the good coffee grinder I finally got this year was I went to my son. He asked me, we were having dinner, and he said, well, what do you want for Christmas? We always ask each other that. I said, oh, man, I would really like a good coffee grinder. And he was the person to ask because my kid is a foodie extraordinaire. You should see him make coffee. I am not a coffee snob compared to him. He gets the temperature of the water. He has a thermometer to test the temperature of the water and all sorts of things I never even think of doing. So anyways, I asked him to buy me a coffee grinder. He bought me the coffee grinder. I opened it on Christmas. I was thrilled. I went home, made my first, ground my first beans. Have you ever imagined the Hallelujah chorus singing above your head? I have not had an experience like it was so easy and efficient, and I just there was the fill line, and I'm speechless at how wonderful this is. Now I get up and I look forward to grinding coffee because it's so easy. But here's how this relates to what I'm talking about today. I could have bought one for myself. I could have asked him for one. There were 5 birthdays and 5 Christmases between when I realized I had a crappy coffee grinder and when I finally asked him for one. There were a multitude of ways I could have gotten a good coffee grinder, but I didn't. Why? And when I ground my first bunch of beans this year, a couple weeks ago, I finally realized why. And that's why it's relevant to what I'm talking to you today about. I just assumed. I didn't even know that I was making this assumption. I assumed there wasn't anything better out there. I assumed that, I bought a cheap coffee grinder, so maybe it doesn't work as good as some of the really fancy ones. But it never even occurred to me that there could be something better. It was amazing. It was like it went right over my head. Took me 5 years to finally ask him because I assumed it wasn't possible for things to be better. I present to you today that perhaps you are like me and my coffee grinder, because I wish the coffee grinder was the only way that I thought, the only thing I thought about. I think about this sometimes with our country. I think about this sometimes with my life. I think about this sometimes with the way I act, that there is no other way. Just assume that there isn't a better coffee grinder out there. So I ask you today to really commit to sailing on these uncharted seas. To let yourself open to the fact that there is better. That we can do more. We can be more. We can fly when we think we're tethered to the earth. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here.
Each day I grow in vibrance, each day I grow in love.
Each day I practice kindness, each day I rise above. The obstacles moving way beyond the norm.
I'm free to be responsible, to create my life in form. And I will reach out and take this role. I will reach to the depths of my soul. I will call upon the clarity and the wisdom there within. I will call upon the source of life and be the author of the wind. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you. Perfect song for the moment. All right, as we go into meditation, let's get comfortable in our chairs, and if we can, put our feet flat on the ground and sit upright so that the breath can flow through our bodies easily and unhindered. Today I ask you to know the truth of love. The truth of love that resides in every molecule of your body. I ask you to see it and to feel it in every atom, every cell, every molecule. The warmth of it, the power of it, the joy of it. It infuses your muscles, it infuses your bones, infuses your throat where you sing and talk. It infuses your hands where you make things. It infuses your legs and your feet and your power to move. This love is the color of your choice. It is glowing. It is glowing. It is glowing. It fills you up so that you are shining. You know this love has always been there. Sometimes we just forget. This love fills you up so that you are shining now. Shining, all of us together in this room, our glow infuses with each other so that we are a ball of light, a sphere filling the earth. A sphere that goes beyond, that fills this room and goes beyond this room, beyond this building. We rise up with our love and we see with a deep connection to the world of the Spirit that we are not alone, that we are powerful beyond measure, that we are full of love beyond measure, and our love, this sphere of love, this glowing sphere, fills the city of Lawrence, fills the state of Kansas. It grows ever more powerful, picking up the love from other people around us, and it goes and it fills the city of Minneapolis and Portland and New York City and Kansas City and everywhere that anyone might be hurting. It fills the people who are afraid at this moment and fills them with knowing that they are not alone and that they are loved. It fills the people who are grieving at this moment and lets them know they are not alone and they are loved. It fills us all. And as we breathe in, breathe out, we begin to bring our sphere of light back to this city, this building, to this room. And as we bring it closer to us, we know that we have left behind glitter that fills the world with love. We have left behind the sprinkle of glitter of love. We bring it back to ourselves, and we know that we are not alone, that we are filled with the love around us, that we are filled with the love of the divine, that we are blessed, and that who we are, what we give, multiplies. Take a moment in silence to feel and experience and know. Begin to bring yourself back to this room. Begin to feel the chair underneath you, behind you. Begin to smell the wonderful aroma of the second Sunday potluck from the kitchen below. When you are ready, open your eyes.
This next song is called Sacred House, which is what is within us and what we share with each other.
Sacred house, sacred house, sacred house, sacred house.
I believe in innocent bliss. I believe in the leverage of wits. I believe in our great spirit. There's miracles at our fingertips.
Sacred
And so, as we recognize the joy in all of us as toddlers laughing in this sacred house we share together, this is the time for us to join in listening to our hearts, and we hold our gifts to this community in our hands as we affirm together divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Let's sing this. I've got the power, you got the power, we've got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
And so, as we are celebrating this time together, we offer this prayer of gratitude to listen to. We are grateful as we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth, returning again and again. And so it is. Amen. Well, a special welcome to our guests today. We are so delighted that you joined us. And we do have packets in the foyer that have more information about us. If you'd like to sign up to get our weekly e-news that comes out on Mondays and find out more about all that's going on in and through Unity, or join us downstairs for potluck and ask all the questions you want. We're happy to share. So, are you being called to serve? You know, what I love about the music and the message today is that there is an opening. That in this time of we've released and we've claimed, and now we hold this space to be open. What a beautiful, tender, terrifying thing to be open in this world. And yet here we are with open hearts. And so it does take a village in this beautiful home that we call our sacred space. There are 3 of us board members remaining on the board, I as president, and Erin as our fabulous coordinator of activities and events, and Chris Hicks, who even though she's traveling with Pat, they are still here in our hearts. But we have an opening for at least 3 folks to step forward to be on the board. And we find ourselves in a new place, in a new port, where normally we would have a slate of board nominees for you to look at. And we don't have that yet. And so this is an opening, a time to consider in prayer. Are you willing to join us on the boat for the year of 2026? And if so, the shining light of unity of Lawrence continues its 49th year of being open to this community. What a gift as we get excited about having a block party to welcome home all who've ever attended and been in and through Unity of Lawrence and our neighbors and our community next year. 50 years of shining our light. And so, I invite you to be open to the consideration of being a part of our Love in Action on our board if you are a member of Unity of Lawrence. And I am happy to visit with you more as you're in inquiry around that. So, something to think about on this voyage that we have together in this time. And our bylaws do require that membership is renewed every year. So we have these little slips of papers that just are, if you're already a member, you just need to fill that out to make sure we have updated information. And those renewal forms are in the foyer. Again, as we've mentioned, everyone's welcome downstairs after the service for our second Sunday potluck. And we have some folks that are already at a workshop. The Vortex is at a retreat in Council Grove. There are others that are preparing for Cheryl Miller's workshop in Overbrook. And at 2:30 today, Marty Stemmerman has a shamanic drumming journey here at 2:30. Then, as we always have things coming up, the Women's Circle is a sacred space for those who identify as women and gather for deep discussion, heart connections, and laughter, meeting this Thursday, January 15th from 5:30 to 6:30. And also you'll notice out in the foyer a basket of old wax candle stubs for the Light Center. Robin Goff is making fire starters out of cardboard egg cartons, dryer lint, which I've been collecting for her. Like, yes, and old candle samples. So if you have those, we invite you to bring that to share because trash becomes treasure. And from nothing, fire. Yes. And so, you'll notice we have our Christmas tree still up because the spirit of Christmas is in us all year round. If you'd like to help us take it down to the storage area after the service, you can help with that. All the rest of the things we are taking care of. And next Sunday, join us for Reverend Anna Schaus. It's time to go fishing. The Unity of Lawrence annual meeting will take place on Sunday, January 25th, following the service, and we'll look over the past year, review what all has been done with an amazing board, and share our vision for 2026. And now it's time to rise as you are able. Let's join together in the peace song.